We're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. Da-da-da. Boom, boom. Posting on my IG now. And I think it's all work. Everything's functional. I see everything's working. Cool. Awesome. Welcome in, guys.
Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. We can see the charts are better this time.
Charts look great. Audio sounds good, I think. Yeah, welcome in, guys.
Good morning, guys.
We'll get started in a minute. Let's give it to like 8:32 and we'll jump into it. How's everybody doing? Where is everybody? Why is everybody sleeping? Let's go. Come on.
It is a Friday, so I don't blame them.
Yeah, everyone should be awake right now.
Yeah.
Rav, they want me to take you to the gym.
No. They said take Brett to the gym.
I know. I know.
Yeah, let's go. I have a workout today evening.
Brett's volume is too high. Let me see. Maybe what I'll do is lower my volume.
Are you wearing headphones, Brett? You're not hearing me
No,
through this. Wait, how are you hearing me then?
I'm hearing you through headphones.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
All right.
Should we get started?
No, let's give it a minute. Still people are waking up. Morning, guys. Tay too smooth.
He wants Coke this early in the morning.
What?
He said he wants Coke in an hour. I will look at Coke. Guys, I'd appreciate if you guys can hit the like button, subscribe, support us so that we can keep doing this for you guys. We're learning, and it's entertaining.
Yeah, where's Fancy? Where's Fancy? Come on, Fancy. Fancy. I think Fancy's not here yet. Morning,
Fancy.
guys. All right, let's dive in. Let's dive in.
All right,
Uh,
let's go for
let's
it.
see.
You want to go to the
So
calendar?
yeah, so basically game plan today, guys, is we'll talk about everything. So we'll go over the normal routine. We'll go over SPY, Qs, ES, all levels from yesterday's session. We'll talk about NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, Apple. We'll go over the whole lot today. But most important thing that I want to talk about before we do anything is I want to talk about our economic calendar going into today's session, but then also dive into a little bit of next week. So starting off with today's session, obviously today is May 30th. Today is the last trading day of May. I always say this during end of quarter, end of month. You can always expect a lot of rotational moves to happen on equities on end of month, especially end of quarter. Obviously, I don't think today's end of quarter, it's only end of month. So obviously just be careful going into today's session. You may see some excess volatility because it's the last trading day of the month. In today's session, we have some data that has come out. PCE index had come out about 4 minutes ago. That's the biggest report of today and of the week. Besides that, we have consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock, and we have PMI at 9:45. So the session is pretty jam-packed in terms of econ data. Just be careful of that when you're navigating the session ahead of us. Going into our Monday session of next week, Monday we have PMI, we have ISM, pretty routine data. Tuesday, routine data. Wednesday, we have ADP, some job data, and then Thursday and Friday we have some more job data. So next week is all centered around job data. That's what the whole market's going to be about going into our next week session. Besides that, guys, I think we should just spend today's session talking about our charts. I think we can just dive right into it, and we'll start off with spy chart. Rav, I'll let you get started.
Yeah, I mean, so we had that catalytic news on yesterday, and market rallied after hours. It looked like everything was going to go crazy, but then they just kind of dismissed that whole news. So this is the news around the court passing the tariffs, but then they came and found a way to still make it happen. So no, nothing on that. Market just gave back everything, and then we're still holding bullish structure though. So you guys can see this. We kept bouncing off of this 587, 588. So that'll be on watch today. It is a Friday, and lately they have not allowed big moves to happen on Friday because of zero ETE. But for downside, I like this 586 to break. And for upside, we need that 592 to reclaim. So this was yesterday's high, 592, 593. We need to reclaim one 4-hour candle. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And so far, it's not yet happening. So this is a 4-hour candle here around 590, which is still too premature because we kind of kept failing yesterday of a 591. And then we have this 592. So for bullish action, 590 and 592, we need to reclaim. For bearish, we need to flush this 586, 585. That's kind of the two
Yep.
levels that I'm watching.
Yeah. Forgot to mention this, guys, for people who are watching. The PCE data released. I have the data in front of me now. It's just at expectations. So PCE month over month was zero point 0.1 and the estimate was 0.1. So nothing out of the ordinary. Markets just coming in pretty much at expectations. My view on SPY's chart is pretty much the same stuff. If you can go to that 5-minute chart, Rav, can you go
Yeah.
to the 5-minute on just so we can go over a little intraday? Yesterday's price action was all about a few different levels. Remember we said there was like the levels were 592, 589, 586. If we lost 592, which we did pretty early on in the session, we saw that little downside move back into 589. Rav, that's where you went long yesterday. I
This is the
actually,
model. This candle. Like if they just took this reclaim, every long setup would have worked. But the fact that
yeah,
they failed it, I mean, we did well stopping out, but still, this was the thing. And then this 589 is when I long SPY. That was a nice 30%er. But again, yesterday's session was like pretty boxy. You guys can see the trend is gradual. We want like a clean downtrend. That's not happening yet. We're just
yeah.
kind of chopping around here.
Because the thing is, you may get these like intraday downtrends that seem like, oh, so bearish in the 5-minute, but
Yeah.
then you go to that larger time frame, there's all these demands below. So okay, sure, you want to short 592, you can short it, right? But you're gonna get crazy bounce risk at 589, you're gonna get crazy bounce risk at 586. That's what the market is, right? So even yesterday's session was the equivalent of Wednesday, right? Wednesday session was tough for me, right? Wednesday session was tough for me. That's why Thursday session, I just took a little knee-jerk reaction off demand off that 589. Like the Rav, you were long off 589. I think I long 590. But it
Yeah.
was still it was still the same idea, right? Just longing into demand yesterday was fine. You could have longed the 589. We also spoke about yesterday's session the 586 level, right? So today's session, the level that I think is the most important today. There's two levels I think are important. First is that 586 Rob was talking about, 586 support, right? It's pre-market low, it's yesterday's low, it's also Wednesday's low, give or take, right? So you must understand 586. You don't want to be overly short in 586 today, right? If you're short, you want to be short under 586 because if you lose 586, that's where the actual downside comes in. Where do we go to under 586? We go back into 582, 581. 592 resistance is the next resistance I have in front of us. If we can clear 592, I think we have nice uptrending price action into the upper 590s, probably like 597, 598. That's what I have here in Spy chart.
Yeah, these two ranges, one of them have to give. And the thing is, yesterday's range was just absolutely insane, which is why I kind of was expecting a bigger move up. Look at this, 598, 599, almost SPX 6000. And then it had all this drop for SPY to just get pinned in a $2 range all day yesterday. So yesterday was kind of anticlimactic. So hopefully the volatility can expand today, but I don't really have high expectations for today, to be honest,
Yep.
because
It
it's a
could be.
Friday and
Yep.
we just don't know. Yesterday's range was just so dreadful. So today, whatever I do, I don't want to get caught in some stupid choppy ass setup that it's not even like it. So,
Yeah. The range today is like basically 592 to 586. I mean, hopefully we can break range, but again, like you're probably right. We probably don't even break range today. We probably just stay in
right.
that little like $6 range. But
Yeah.
again, just be careful going into it. Do you want to go over ES?
Sure.
So I don't know if you have levels in ES's chart,
I
but
do have some levels, but that 5920 is one yesterday I was watching. I need that to clear for upside.
yeah,
But pretty much the same chart. We need these ranges to break. So 5920, 5925 for upside minimum, and then 5940 is the bigger level, and then 5880 for downside.
yeah. I agree. I so my level is a little bit. I have 5924 as my level on ES. I think
Yes.
yours is what 592. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's 59. Yeah, same thing. 5924 is my level. Yours is 593.50, but it's fine. It's the same thing. That would be the equivalent of SPY 589. If we can clear 589, is that 589? Hold on, am I
No,
wrong here for a
it's
second?
592.
That's 592. You're right. It is 592. Yeah. So that level on ES's chart will be the equivalent of that 592. So hopefully we can clear that today. If we do, that's where upside comes in. Downside, we have demand at 5870, which I think in your chart is you have 5880, but basically the same thing. It's just a 10-point difference. So you could probably like a little bit of a zone there between like 5875 and 5880 or 5870. That's where we have lows from that Monday session, that Monday and Tuesday session. So I think be careful of that low today on ES's chart, right? Again, just so people who trade ES, the level is 5870 in ES. That's where I have big demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, it's kind of a tough mover. So let's go
Yeah.
over individual setups. Something I was watching yesterday, unfortunately, I just should have shot at this and be done with this. So I was watching the 1210 shot on Netflix of the bell, and then the 1195 breakdown. You guys, I'll move to the 5 minute chart. Unfortunately, I didn't take the setup yesterday. I was caught. Morning, I got caught in Meta, and then after that, I took Spy. I did a few other scalps, but I didn't touch this. So this is the 1195 reject here. On you could have taken it right off the open or the retest, but you guys can see Netflix is breaking down. And if I don't know if you guys remember this from past lives, this 1180 level on Netflix, we have tested this like countless times, and we have reclaimed over this level. So this demand is pretty exhausted. So today, if we flush this, we could get a $10+ drop on this particular name. So for downside, not a reject. I'm watching a breakdown on Netflix. So it all depends on how we open today, and if market has downside value, I think Netflix will finally lose that 1180 level. So I like this a lot, and that's probably going to be one of my top watches today. So if you guys can see this, it broke structure, bullish structure already. We just need to lose this low here. And if it does, we can define risk and try to catch the more downside play. Brett, do you have
Rob,
anything that?
you skipped the Qs, man. We gotta go back to Qs. About
Oh,
the QQQ. That they're gonna if you miss the Qs, they go absolutely animalistic in the chat. There's like a lot of QQQ lovers, so you gotta be careful. 522.50 on the QQQ. That's the big level from yesterday's session, right? So if you jump to that 5 minute chat, go to that 5 minute chat. Or 5 minute chart. So it says, does Brett talk really fast or is YouTube tripping? No, 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 no. YouTube is not tripping. I'm just something's wrong with me. On the on the QQQ chart, watch 522.50 in the Qs. Obviously yesterday's session, that's where everything happened, right? So you saw, remember Rob was saying the 592 couldn't break yesterday. It was not just 592, it was also QQQ 522.50, right? So when we lost that, when we opening bell, when we failed back under 522.50, and that 11 o'clock candle, we pushed back into 522.50, that was that short, right? So that's the level to watch for today's session is if we're under 522.50, you're gonna have a hard time seeing much upside. So watch 522.5 today. That's big resistance. Demand below is 517. That's where yesterday's lows came in. So 517 demand, 522.50 resistance. Under 517 demand, we have next level there at 512. So that's what I have here in the queues. Just be careful. Again, everything today is about the same level, 522.5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, even if we lose lows today, whether in SPY or Qs, there's just a lot of under resistance where we under support under that we could just tap liquidity and reverse. We need to be really careful today, especially it's a Friday.
Yes.
Not be too excited that as a level broke and it's a break of trend and then get absolutely whacked by a reverse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to be careful. Next one, Q's done.
Yep. We're done.
All right. So let me go to Tesla. Should be everyone's favorite. Um, Tesla is pretty much just fading the whole breakout that it did last week when it broke that, finally broke that 350. I think it was not last week, it was earlier this week, right? It was a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday 350 breakout. Yep.
Yep, Tuesday we
Beautiful.
broke that, and now we're testing the same zone here. So now we're approaching dangerous territory. So we need to absolutely hold at least this 352. The closer we get to 350, the chance of this move getting erased and becoming top heavy is getting insane. So the ideal scenario, if market does flip bullish, we can take it off of reclaims here. Ideally, I want to see at least a 560 reclaim so we can define at least a $2 risk and enter the trade long side. But this trend line is, I can just draw a little trend line here. You guys can see this. This fade is exactly SPY's chart. And it is not looking good. So market really needs to reclaim, or else many of these names look like exit liquidity for whoever's long in these areas are just going to turn into exit liquidity. So today's session is super important, not only because it's because we're very tight and close to big breakdown, but also because we could lose trend today on many of on the larger time frames. So it's going to be important today. So the levels that I'm watching, 360 to the upside, and then if we lose 350, we obviously could enter short as well.
Yeah. Oh, my levels are pretty much the same. So my big demand is 350, right? So 350 is the big demand. I think it probably should hold before then, though, because I don't know if it taps 350. I don't know
They'll
if
give us
it's
a
going.
relief at the minimum because it's a big breakout level. But again, that's also a lot of people's trailing stop losses and stop loss whoever went long. So if we
Yes.
do lose it, everyone who was bullish will turn into a bear, and the selling will intensify. Remember,
Yeah.
people don't want to be caught bag holding the highs. Everyone is long, but the moment we start selling, we're going to trigger a lot of stops, and it's going to get messy. Um, and yeah, we'll see. There's again, a lot of these charts really depend on SPY and QQQ on what they do and if they break range. But we'll have to wait and see. I want to look over Meta now. So again, yesterday we got caught today. Yesterday because we went long and SPY didn't reclaim and we lost it. Still holding that structure of that 643 area. That was the bounce level from I believe 2 days ago, and it again worked again yesterday. And so we again depends on SPY what it does, but we need a reclaim of this structure. If it goes, this has the most potential to absolutely rip back to highs. But again, just like Tesla, this is becoming very top heavy here in these areas. A lot of people were bullish and are accumulating a lot of longs in these areas. So if we do break to the downside and lose 635 is the level I have. Let me just go to the 4-hour chart here for a second. So this is a little bit more clear. So you guys can see these candles here, right? So we need to get above this 648. That was yesterday's rejected area for upside. And then for downside, if we lose the 640, we could drop to 632 and then 625. So both sides, again, depends on where SPY goes today. We are going to take that. I'm most likely going to trade the Meta today again, but it really depends on how it opens. Anything to
Yeah.
add, Brett?
So I'm not a huge meta trader, but I
Okay.
would the level I have on meta is at 643. When it failed that
Mm-hmm.
643 yesterday, for me it was kind of like it lost that oomph, right? It held it at that 1020 area and 1018 area, but then once it lost it, I mean it did a little liquidity grab and ripped. But I mean I'd say today's session has to reclaim 643, but not only that, I would say 646 is the level that I have now. I don't know
Right.
if yours is any different.
648. So 648 is so yesterday when I had built my position 640. So this is exactly what happened. Let me just go over that trade yesterday. So we got starters here around 648, which was the first level, and we ripped the 650. This is when they got it in, and of course this was just a starter, and I said I'm going to build into this position. We dropped all the way to 646, and we wicked, which was the level that I had. Now this is where I got my position. And unfortunately, I didn't add a lot. I just added a little, right? So my average was still not like that great. So 310. So when this thing popped back to 648, this was the best sign for us, and we were green. But unfortunately, SPY failed and everything failed. So this is when we got lost. Unfortunately, it's a 20% loss. But again, this thing happens. On another day, we reclaimed to highs, and this was another percent trade. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case yesterday. So main level here, this is where we kind of capitulated yesterday, 648.3. I want to see this clean and clear out. Honestly, we don't even need to do the guesswork. Let it break 648, let it reclaim 650, and then we can enter the trade.
Yeah. Rav, I think they're saying your mic is echoing. I don't, but I don't hear it on my end. But I'm not sure if it is, but that's good. If it's echoing, you guys are hearing things twice.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
you guys should really remember. Okay, so
Someone
let's
said
do the
it's gone
video.
now. Someone said it's gone now. Okay.
It's gone.
Anyway,
Okay,
guys, don't
good.
worry. I'll let you guys know when I signal meta. Don't worry. If I take it, you'll know. I don't give a fuck. I'll signal it.
So Nvidia. Let's do the video for a second. Um, Nvidia chart today. There's only one level you have to watch out for in Nvidia. For me personally, it's 137, 136, right? So kind of like Tesla, this is where things become interesting here. But remember, we were saying Tesla 350 has to defend. If it doesn't defend, you're going to have a lot of short side moving parts, so you're probably just going to fail, right? So Tesla 350 has to hold. And that's your demand today, right? But likewise, Nvidia, it's 137. So if you're long today on Nvidia, you're longing this demand here, right? 137, 136. If we fail below 136, I would not be long Nvidia anymore. I think this goes back to 128. You have to understand Nvidia must hold today at this 136, 137 level. If it does, this is your best possible entry, right? This is where the retest is, right? It's that hourly double, triple top retest. If we can pull back there and find support stepping up, then go long with the stop loss on 136 and look for a 140 target, right? You could also today take the video on strength. Okay. And there is an argument to that being the better trade. Again, I'm for both today. But if you want to take NVIDIA on strength, I think the level you have to watch out for is simply just 140, right? So you can look for NVIDIA to reclaim 140. If this reclaims 140, you can look for this target to move back into 144, 143.50. Or you could look for the demand bounce today, 137, 136. That's what I have here in NVIDIA's chart. Rav, I don't know if you have anything different than mine, but that's what I'm watching today in NVIDIA.
Every chart is the same. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Every chart that we go through is the same thing. It depends on what we get the direction, right? Up or down, we don't know. So you can probably long any name, and if the market is bullish, you're going to make money call side. If it's bearish, you're going to make money put side. Uh,
Yep.
Regardless, like you guys can see the same chart as Tesla, big move up, faded pre-market yesterday and into the session. Today, if we can reclaim this 140, again, bullish structure is intact. But if
Yep.
we break down again, like this whole upside move will bulls are going to just become exit liquidity and everyone's stops going to get triggered as we break level. So I really don't want to see this pre-market low on Nvidia break for bulls. So this 137-ish area, 137.5, whatever I want to see this hold. If we lose it, maybe there are like the demand levels under. So this 136.50 is the previous high here, 136, 137. Maybe there's a wick and reclaim. We can go long on that if we get some kind of dip buying opportunity. But really depends on getting the overall direction right. No matter what name, it's Tesla, Meta, it doesn't matter. If SPY sells off, it doesn't matter how bullish your individual setup is, everything is going to sell. And same thing, if SPY is bearish, we just have to trade the direction here today. And that's my
Yeah.
view. Not going in with any kind of bias. I'm just going to see what the tip says and what the direction is, and then just trade that way.
It was interesting because this week I think we got like explosive price action on Tuesday, and it was like so clear. Trend was nice, right? And then they just Wednesday and Thursday they just absolutely pulled the plug, right? We've just been channeling and everything and pulling back the demand slowly. Today's session is the test of that demand, right? So Wednesday and Thursday kind of just sat stagnant, right, in consolidation phase. Today's session is a real test of demand in a lot of these beta names. The reason I'm saying it is look at NVIDIA right now, right? NVIDIA is actually pulling back to that. NVIDIA's pulled back to the train station, right? Either NVIDIA is going to go back home, back to the 120s, or it's going to
80.
or 80, yeah, probably. NVIDIA's at the train station, right? It's either going back home or that's it, right? It has to hold here. If it doesn't hold 137, 136, that's where things get messy, and that's going to pull the rest of the market down. And same thing with Tesla 350, pretty much every day. Look at AMD too. Pull up AMD as well. We take a look at AMD. AMD is all about this. What do I have here? My level here in AMD is 111. To me, AMD is a bit weaker than NVIDIA for some reason. AMD is still obviously is maintaining demand here as well. I have my demand zone at 111, 111. I think you do too, same level. 111 is my level here on AMD. If we lose 111, then I think that bull structure is kind of lost, and we move back down to 107. So watch and see what these beta names do today, right? Particularly watch what AMD does, and we can pivot to SMH for a second as well. On the SMH chart, do you guys see what happened in the SMH yesterday? Do you guys see what happened?
Like, yeah, try to fix that. In the meantime, I'll talk about some stuff. Someone said Microsoft. Let me go over Microsoft chart in the meantime. I mean, guys, Microsoft is 100% relatively stronger. So you guys can see when market sold off yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw the chat, but I was long Microsoft off of this 456 level. If you attended my YouTube Q&A, I told you this 456 level is the ultimate test, and this level's holding. So my bias for Microsoft is bullish as long as 456 holds. Now, this is a setup that could potentially rip crazy if we can get above 460 again, because compared to most longs, this is the most bullish looking name. Now, I don't know what the range is going to be to the upside, or if SPY is going to break to the upside, but if market is strong, I'll be watching Microsoft. Can you guys hear me? Just want to. I'm good. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Microsoft is fun. All right. Now next up, what else, guys? Any other chart requests? Microsoft did it. PLTR. Oh wow, still holding that 120. I mean, as long as this 120 holds, it's a good sign. If we lose 120 again, you're going to be in. This could see the next leg of selling here. For upside, you really want to see this. Oh my God, this is a very ugly looking chart, to be honest. These ranges suck. So we need to break 127, 128 to the upside, or 120 to the downside. Those are the two levels to watch: 128 on 120. Apple, oh, thank you, you brought it up. Apple, I took a beautiful long of a 198. Oh my God, let me remove these diagrams. All right. I took a beautiful long off of this 198, and we rallied all the way to this 208 again, 200 MA. And then now we're coming back here again, this 198. So this 198 level, 197-ish area is very, very important. 197.50, if you guys remember. If we lose this, we could really test back to the lows. So again, if SPY sells, SPY breaks to the downside, and we lose this low, Apple would be a very quick downside trade back to the most recent low, which is around this 193. So this is also a play that I like to the downside, no longer the upside, because market seems like it wants lower. But let's wait and see which way we break. Someone said KO. Yes, I did. I do remember that. All right. I don't know why I have levels on KO. I don't know. I don't think I've traded KO before. I probably did a charting. So KO, you guys can see that this was a big uptrending move. This was a breakdown, another breakdown. We came back to demand. Basically, reclaim the zone. So looks like this is a particular chart that likes to trade within zones here. So if we break the zone to the upside, 72.5, it's likely going to rally to the back to highs. And if we break this zone to the downside, this is the most recent low, we are going to go back down here to these areas. So watch these two levels here. I don't even have to plot any new levels. These are the zones for KO. And honestly, if I were you, I would not day trade this. But if you have a positioning already, whether you bought this at the low or something, then you can still hold this trade as long as the zones are holding. Okay. All right, let's look at more. Let me see if we can bring Brett back on. All right, Brett, you're back on. Can you talk?
Am I back? I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm back.
Let me know if you guys
All
can
right.
hear Brett.
We're here. We're live. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do Amazon. They're waiting for us. They're waiting for us. We can't stop. Amazon.
Amazon.
Uh,
Okay.
Amazon. Yesterday was all about 20650. I think you'd have to be a little bit funny to long at Amazon today under 20650. I think just be careful of that. If we're under 20650, I think we move back into that daily turn rest of May around 202, 201. That's where we're at right now. That's where I have demand. But again, I'm not really loving this chart until I see us reclaim 20650. If I do, that's a long opportunity. Yesterday we spoke up it being a long at 20650. If you guys look at the chart, that's where it worked. But today's session, it needs to reclaim that. That's that pre-market high. It's a level yesterday's session. Must reclaim 20650. Did you go for Apple yet, Rev?
I did Apple. Again, it's like a death chart. I did long at 198. It made a move back to the 200 MA 208 area and got slammed with the market. This 197.50, 198. You can see this candle low. This is when I longed it on Monday. So Tuesday. We absolutely have to hold this area here. If we don't, there is a gap fill play, and most recent low is like a couple of dollars away. which is a lot for a Friday. So we gotta again, if market is weak, this is a name we could short and capitalize. If Apple sells, everything sells with the market also. So it's
Yeah.
something we can keep an eye on. Someone said Google. I'll let you go over
Wait,
Google.
guys, get the like count up. I looked at the like count. I was looking at Rab's. This is Rab's stream. He's got 367 likes with 1,000
Guys,
viewers. Get the
that's you guys are fake. If that's the like, come on, like, subscribe to the channel.
Okay.
Motivate us to do this more.
Google on the Google chart. I mean, look, Google is just hugging the 200 SMA, right? That's all I have here in Google. I don't really have much. Rav, you might want to go over this one. I just see. I don't really have much to say about this. 200 SMA holding 171. Don't be short into it, right? That's the level I would say. I don't know if you have any different here on
I
Google
mean,
Rev.
from a trend standpoint, let me just like first look at this chart. This is what I see. This is what I see. So this trend line is what I see. It's still holding bullish trend right now. We're hugging the trend. It's hanging on to dear life. If SPY breaks to the downside, it loses trend. As simple as that. If we lose this
It does.
170 here, we drop back to 167 and then 165 and whatnot, right? So everyone better hope SPY doesn't fail to the downside, because a lot of these charts look like super ominous, and you could really, but that's also the trick. It looks also crazy to the downside, it flushes, and then it could reclaim also. So you got to be really careful today. Wait for confirmation, and the thing is, if there is trend loss, we are going to be able to catch retests. We are going to be able to capitalize. We just don't want to be first to the party today, and that's the most important note for today's session for me.
Yeah, I mean, Google, it's all about 171. If we're holding 171, don't be short. If you lose 171, you can probably, and I would even say a 170, right? Give it to 170.
Yeah.
That's where you can probably start to trickle in some shorts and get the move down lower. But again, 170 is a big level in Google. Did you do PLTR?
I did, yeah.
Oh
120
shit.
and 128. Those are the two. It's kind of in an untradeable zone right now. I would not even touch it. But if it loses this 120, which kind of is the level that's been holding for for a while, again, the next zones are like pretty low volume zones here, so we could easily do a big drop and trigger a lot of stops here.
Right.
Upside, this is a huge 4-hour zone, so we need to take out this 128. For a name like PLTR, maybe that's not going to happen intraday on a Friday, but I could be wrong as well. So we are going to have to find out.
PLTR 125 is my big level. That's like my big zone. Did you guys remember like PLTR 125? Just look at like if you go to the 5 minute on PLTR and just look and see the interactions at 125. If you are a PLTR trader, you're just trading 125. Like it's just like over and over and over again. That level has been so crazy. SMH guys, in the SMH, what I was talking about before I got Houdini'd was it was the 246 level, right? 246 was the big level. Because we failed because the SMH failed 246 yesterday. It's it's what is slowing down the semiconductor market. Okay. If you want upside juice on semis, you want to see the SMH clear back over 246. Yes, there is demand below. Sure, the demand below is at 238. Yes, we're not at risk right now of failing, right? 238 still demand below. If we pull back to 238, probably see some sort of knee-jerk reaction to the upside up to 238. That's demand, okay? So again, the reason why it's demand is it's the golden zone. It's also that daily tuner SMA. So watch that 238 level as support. But then today, also watch 246. If you want juice across semis, look for 246 reclaim. If 246 reclaims, you could probably long any NVIDIA, AMD, TSM, Avgo, right? And probably make some money on it, right? So watch 246 reclaims. That's really big going into our session today. Not even just for today, but also for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much same charts. Every chart is the same. Look at the same fade, and that's why we need to just get the direction right, and I will make money. Any other
Yeah.
chat requests, guys? What's the time mark? I think we're about time, right?
We're perfect time. We're perfect time. We could end it here, guys. Thank you all for joining in. Look, we went over a lot of different names today. Give Rav some support. Sub to his channel. We're trying to get his channel to 10K. Get his channel to 10K, right? Guys, I'll see you over live trading. Rav, see you,
All
man.
right. See you guys soon, guys. Make sure you guys tune into live.